everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. Today's video is going to be a homeschool show and tell. The Homeschool Show and Tell is an open collaboration hosted by Abby from Rooted in Rest and myself. Our goal with the Homeschool Show and Tell was to just show that there's not one right way to homeschool. There are many ways to homeschool and all of them are right for your family. We do that by bringing homeschoolers together from around the world each and every month to share their take on a different topic. This month's topic is Teacher Planning Day, and it's one I'm super excited for because it's very timely. Each January after we've come back from the holidays to kind of mark the halfway point in our homeschool year, I like to do a homeschool reset refresh. So I kind of do different things to close out the first half of our year and then look forward to the next half of our year. So since it is January and I do it every January, I thought it would be best to just basically bring you guys along with me while I do that. January is my favorite time to do a homeschool teacher planning day. Not because we're starting over or changing everything, but because we're pausing long enough to take a breath. For me, January sits right in the middle of our homeschool year. It's not the beginning and it's definitely not the end. It's a natural midway point and I treat it that way. This planning day is both a mid-year check-in and a way to intentionally close out the first half of our year before moving forward. Before I plan anything new, I want to feel settled about what we've already done. That way, I'm not carrying unfinished mental to-do list into the rest of the year. The very first thing I do on a January teacher planning day is close out the first half of our homeschool year. This is where I update our homeschool portfolio and records so that everything is current and complete. I start by going through the schoolwork we've completed so far. I look at written work, projects, notes, and anything that shows growth or progress. Anything that needs to be documented gets scanned and uploaded now. Doing this in January is one of the biggest ways that I stay consistent with record keeping. Instead of trying to remember months of learning at the end of the year, I'm simply maintaining what we've already done. I also update Emily's book list. Every book that she's read so far gets logged, including read-alouds, independent reading, audiobooks, and even books we abandoned halfway through. That list gives me a really clear picture of how much learning has really happened, even during seasons that maybe felt slower. Next, I update our field trip logs. Museums, parks, historical sites, nature walks, events, and hands-on experiences all get recorded. This is one of my favorite reminders that learning doesn't only happen at the table. I always double check that any classes, activities, or learning experiences that we've participated in are also listed and up to date. This part of the planning day is quiet and methodical, but it's grounding and it reminds me that progress exists even when the days might feel a little repetitive. Once everything is updated and documented, I move into resetting our homeschool spaces. This step matters more than it looks like it does. I clear off surfaces, put materials back where they belong, and take stock of what we're actually currently using. Finished work gets filed or stored, supplies we no longer need get put away, passed along, or donated. I'm not trying to create a perfect homeschool room or space or even do a full makeover. I'm really just creating a clear mental space for when we return to homeschooling. When our homeschool areas are cluttered with old projects or unused materials, it's harder for us to mentally move forward. Resetting the space helps us close one chapter and feel ready for the next one. This step also gives me clarity about what we actually need for the rest of the year and what we don't. Less clutter always leads to better focus. When the first half of the year is documented and our spaces are reset, something just simply shifts. January stops feeling like a season of catching up and it starts feeling like a season of new. Instead of feeling behind, I feel informed, and instead of feeling scattered, I feel grounded. This is where that fresh start feeling actually comes from, not from starting over, but from closing loops and moving forward intentionally. After everything is updated, reset, and cleaned up, I sit down with Emily. This is one of the most important parts of my teacher planning day. We talk about what she's enjoyed so far this year and the things that she's not enjoying, what might have felt exciting, the things that felt hard, and what she would like to do more of. I ask what she's curious about right now and if there's anything new she wants to explore. This conversation isn't about locking in a strict plan or even making any promises to her. It's about listening and noticing patterns and potentially letting her lead the way. Her input will help guide the direction of the second half of our year, and it keeps learning connected to her interests. For example, I know after talking to her that she wants to learn more about mythology because she can't seem to get enough, and she's still super excited about any and all things animals. After I talk with Emily, Kevin and I sit down together and we zoom out and we look at the bigger picture. We talk about where we think Emily is right now, what she's thriving in, and where she might need more support or even more challenge. Having this conversation helps me plan with perspective instead of pressure. It reminds me that homeschooling is most definitely a family effort and not something I carry alone. This also might potentially be a time when Kevin and I might sneak in a little bit of business chat, especially if there's something specific that Emily wants to learn more about that might lead on to the business side of things. Only after all of that is done do I actually sit down with my planner to start planning the second half of our homeschool year. I am most definitely not planning every detail or mapping out every single thing. I'm simply setting a general direction. I think in chunks, what we want to focus on and when, what resources we might lean into, what resources we might do away with, what kind of rhythm would feel realistic for our family. Because the first half of the year is closed out and our space is reset, this planning feels lighter and much more flexible. For me, a January teacher planning day isn't about fixing my homeschool. It's about honoring what I've already done and choosing how I want to move forward. Closing out the first half of our year, resetting our space, listening to my child, and talking it through as a family. That's where the clarity comes from, and that's what carries us through the rest of our year.